Kumusta kapatid? Kuya Den here. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I know it's been a really challenging time for all of us. This is a very historic moment for mankind. The COVID-19 pandemic is really changing the way we do things, and I'm glad that I'm able to connect with you with the help of technology. And speaking of technology, smartphone manufacturer Realme has finally decided to bring the Realme 6 series to the Philippines, starting with this phone right here, the Realme 6i. Now, if you'd recall, earlier this year, back in February, they came out with budget mid-ranger Realme 5i, which we have right here. And they had just launched the Realme 6 in India and the Realme 6i in Myanmar when the coronavirus pandemic broke out. So I was super excited when Realme finally decided that they'll be launching the 6i on May 13, and that's a few days from now. Price is still a mystery though. However, we were told that it'll cost around 10,000 pesos. So hey, let's check it out and see what's in store. Realme 6i comes in standard yellow Realme box. The rear lists its main features: 48MP quad cameras, 5000 mAh battery, Helio G80 processor, and 18 watts quick charging. We have the white milk unit with 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage space. Inside the box, we are greeted with the beautiful welcome message, "Welcome to the Realme family." It's a nice, warm gesture from Realme. Moving inside, we get another message, "Let's embrace a new journey," and there's also the most important accessory of all, the SIM removal tool, which we're gonna remove. We get a nice silicone case, nothing fancy, but still a nice touch from Realme. The Realme C3 and the Realme 5i didn't come with silicone cases, and they had, in my opinion, one of the most durable backsides, so I kind of wonder what the 6i looks like. I mean, we do have a white colored phone after all. Next, we have some pieces of paper they like to call manuals. Ay, natapon. Next. Alright, the moment we've all been waiting for, presenting the white milk Realme 6i. By the way, aside from white, the Realme 6i also comes in green tea color, so we have white milk and green tea. Put them together and we get milk tea. Cute, diba? Quad camera module and fingerprint sensor at the back. It's plastic for sure, but it's matte, which is good. It won't be attracting any fingerprints, so I'm not sure I'll be using the gel case. Moving to the front, we have a 6.5-inch screen with Gorilla Glass 3 and reinstalled screen protector. It looks like our unit still has bubbles in it. I'm sure they'll buff right out. I'm not too delicate or maselan, as they say in Tagalog, but it's still a bummer to find this on a new phone. Let's take a look at the rest of the package while we're starting the phone. Over here, we have the 18-watt charger. It's a little bigger than usual, which means there's probably excess circuitry to handle the load. If I'm gonna guess, either the MediaTek Helio G80 chipset doesn't have built-in circuitry to support fast charging, or Realme wanted to use their own technology. Keep in mind that Realme used to be part of Oppo, the same guys who developed a fast charging technology called VOOC or VOOC. Last but not least, we have the USB Type-C cable. Small nitpick, it would have been nice if the connector were in yellow to match the charger. So let's go back to the phone. Looking at the bottom panel, we have a 3.5mm audio port, microphone receiver, and of course our USB Type-C port, woohoo, and our bottom-firing speakers. To the right, we have our power button. Moving to the front, we have what Realme calls the mini drop notch. That's the 16MP selfie camera right there. We also have the receiver at the top edge. To the left, we have our volume rocker and SIM tray. Taking out the SIM tray, we find 3 slots, 1 microSD slot and 2 Nano SIM slots. This has been the standard for Realme phones, and I think it just makes sense in the Philippines where everyone has multiple SIM cards. Also, that expansion slot will surely come in handy just in case the built-in storage runs out. The 6i runs Android 10 out of the box with Realme's newest customization layer called the Realme UI 1.0. It's real clean and user-friendly, and if you like dark mode, it's built right in the system. Just toggle it on or off from the notification bar. Overall, the phone is very smooth. Scrolling through your phone is fast, and launching and switching between apps was fairly snappy, although I did notice a bit of stuttering here and there as it loads content. Our benchmark scores were not the highest compared to other phones in 2020, but it's still pretty respectable, scoring over 200k in Antutu. As an entertainment device, the phone can only stream 720p videos in Netflix and Amazon Prime, but it's cool since we only have a 720p display anyways. The bottom-firing loudspeaker is a little underwhelming though. At maximum volume, I felt it was a little too soft and I kept pushing the volume up button, hoping it'll get louder.
Makes us feel alive. We keep this love in your photograph. We made these memories for ourselves.
Now on to the most interesting part, gaming. So this is the first smartphone in the Philippines and in the world to run on the MediaTek Helio G80 platform, and they're proud of that, and it's being aimed at gamers. That's what the G supposedly stands for. However, it's not the first Helio G series phone that we've laid our hands on. Last year, we reviewed the Redmi Note 8 Pro, which runs on the more powerful MediaTek Helio G90T chipset. So we know it's a very powerful phone. However, the Redmi Note 8 Pro was thermally challenged. On long gaming sessions, the phone heats up by a fair amount, which was enough to trigger thermal throttling from time to time. This has the adverse effect of bringing down our frame rates, and we don't want that. It's like trying to drive a Ferrari through EDSA traffic. You have the power to go really fast, but you can't because you're stuck along with everyone else. So I tried to replicate the exact same scenario on the Realme 6i using Marvel's Super War as our reference game. I had graphics on max settings and high frame rate mode on. I kept looking at the temperature monitor expecting it to kick in, but it never did. It was pretty stable at 55 to 60 FPS and it felt pretty cool the entire time. It could be that the Helio G80 is simply more efficient than the G90T, or it could also be that the 720p display keeps things cool because it's less demanding than a full HD 1080p display. It definitely requires lower processing power and power consumption. Whatever the reason, I'm quite satisfied with the gaming performance of the Realme 6i, and the lower res display doesn't bother me at all. Now let's talk about the camera. We get quad rear cameras. 48MP f1.8 main, 8MP f2.3 ultra-wide, 2MP f2.4 macro, and there's also a 2MP f2.4 depth sensor, but you can't actively use it to take photos. For selfies, we have a 16MP sensor, so on paper, it looks like the Realme 6i is a step up from what we usually get for the same price range. Built-in camera software produces excellent results. They're usually clear and sharp during the day, although low-light shots aren't as impressive. Videos can go up to 1080p 60fps, and they're acceptably stable despite the lack of OIS or optical image stabilization. Can't really say much about the battery life since I've only had the phone for a few days, but so far I've managed an entire day on a single charge. It takes around 2.5 hours though to fully charge a phone. 1 hour would charge a phone to about 50% at 18 watts, which is still better than your regular slow charging, but I kinda wish it could be faster. So there you have it, folks. The Realme 6i, the first Helio G80-powered smartphone in the world and in the Philippines. That's MediaTek's gaming line of chipsets. You get a 5,000 mAh battery, which will surely come in handy, especially since games tend to consume a lot of power. And at 18 watts, you get to charge about half of that in an hour. On top of that, you get real nice cameras. You get a 16 megapixel selfie camera right here and a 48 megapixel quad camera module at the back with reusable lenses, wide, ultrawide, and macro. It also has a USB Type-C port right here and dedicated SIM and expansion slots, which is nice. The phone has two weaknesses though, the 720p screen and the lack of 5 GHz Wi-Fi support. That 720p display might turn some people off, especially for the market which it's trying to cater to, which are the gamers. Despite the fact that it's a budget phone, there are people on Reddit which are gonna scrutinize and compare every bit of detail. In its defense, I personally believe that a full HD screen would affect the phone's performance. I'm not sure we'd be able to run games in max graphics settings and high frame rate mode, 60 FPS, without triggering thermal throttling if it had a full HD screen. Again, that's just my personal take. What do you think? Tell me in the comment section below. The price will be revealed on May 13, but we already know that it'll go for below 10,000 pesos from the Myanmar launch. It looks like it'll be priced around 9,000 pesos, which seems fair. Also, the Realme 5i had a launch price of 7,000 pesos. So guys, before we leave, I'm gonna give away these goodies right here. One winner will get this Realme 6 series bag and another one will get this Realme 6 series pillow. All you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and answer the question, what feature do you look for most in a phone? Is it the battery, the screen, the camera, what have you? I'll select one winner at random 2 weeks from now. This is just gonna be a quick and simple giveaway, so it's open to Metro Manila residents only. I'm so sorry. For those of you who live elsewhere, just stay tuned. Who knows? We might do a bigger one next time. Hey, might even give away a phone. So that's all for now. Shout out to r/Realme on Reddit. I recently became a mod there. Thank you. And Time Traveler for accepting me. Shout out to my Marvel Super War Philippines Discord server. If you guys play that game, feel free to join our server. I'm gonna leave the link below. And finally, shout out to my Marvel Super War guild, the Avenger Shield. Especially to our founder, Fenhi, and to my team, the X-Force, Tetsuki, Raging Patatas, Marcos Egon, Pabuhat Post, mga Lodi. So that's all for now. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Paalam.